87% of realtors don't make it after the first 5 years. 13% are the ones that make it, right? And I mean, you've done that,
Yes,
right?
I've made it past 5 years.
You made it past 5. So, what makes you? What have you done to? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I've been in real estate for about 7 years.
Yeah.
So I've been with UTG since I've started. So actually just specializing in results has made things easier for me to continue doing what I'm doing. Of course, having an awesome brokerage firm supporting me and backing me, providing training, educational resources, things like this as well have been amazing and have attributed to my success as an agent. So those things have been awesome.
And why do you think that 87% of agents, drop out after 5 years, don't make it, they fail?
I think consistency is very important, and I think some just give up because the market changes consistently. So I think a lot of times things are hot, things get cold, and they figure when things get cold, maybe this is just not for me anymore. So they give up after some time. So I believe after a while they just give up.
Yeah, that's one of the things I see in you is consistency. I mean, you're always there doing your thing. You know, there's no, even though the market's changed so much, and COVID, 19, everything, and you're still there closing deals and go. So what does it take to do that? Because that's good for agents that are listening, and that's good for clients because they know you're there. You're not back and forth trying to get outcome and don't know what to do. I mean, you're doing something right. Is it just a mindset that you just keep on marketing?
Most definitely, I would say.
There's no end. Kind of like there's no end, you just keep on.
Right, and I think when you get to an end, that's when you figure it's just not for you anymore, or you just don't want to do it anymore. So if you keep yourself in it, then there's no reason why you can't be successful.
Yeah, I guess for some people it's just not for them.
Right.
And what is it that's not for them? Because what does it take to be a realtor then? The way I see it, I think it's sales, that sales mindset, salesperson mindset. I don't know, what do you think about that? I mean, that's the way I see it.
I agree. With sales, you have to be persistent, consistent. Those are things, and sometimes it gets tiring, honestly, sometimes as an agent. But if you're driven and you're motivated, I think it's something that will pay off for you. But it does require consistency, for sure.
And have you always worked with buyers? Primarily?
So primarily I've worked with buyers, but I've worked with sellers in the past as well.
Okay. Do you enjoy one more than the other?
You know what? I don't have a preference. I am an accredited buyer's representative, and I'm also an SRS, a seller's representative specialist.
Okay.
So I equally enjoy both. So just as equally. So
you see a lot of realtors in the market, and a lot of them don't have those things. What are those? Could you expand?
Sure. Okay, so an ABR is an accredited buyer's representative. You specialize with working with buyers, of course. As an SRS, you specialize with working with sellers. I also have the MRP credential, which is a military relocation professional.
Okay.
And I have a certification with At Home with Diversity. So working with diverse clients from different backgrounds who may not have the resources or the education in purchasing or buying. So I provide that knowledge for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's many realtors out there, and really what does it take to become a realtor? Just do the course and get your license, right? Which is not that hard, right?
Yeah, so that's probably the easiest part, right? So, they have a joke about people moving to Miami, and one of the requirements is getting your real estate license because almost everyone has a real estate license. Some people just have it in their back pocket just in case, they have a friend or a family member that wants to buy or sell, but it's more to it than just getting a license, and again, you have to be in it, to really be successful. You have to put in work, it's not just, hey, like you see people market, or, they put on a suit, take a picture with a nice car, there's so much more to it than being a realtor, Yeah,
and these days it might be hard to tell apart the good ones from from the, I mean, not professional ones, let's say.
Right,
or,
right,
you know,
right.
because you can, like you said, you can put on a suit, do a video, or you know, tell people, market correctly,
Right.
and not know really what you're doing, or not know about the buying process, not know
Right.
about the whole thing.
Exactly.
Or sales negotiation, which is huge.
Very
for a
important.
realtor.
Probably one of the most important aspects of real estate is negotiating.
Yeah. Okay, so why should clients hire you then? I mean, obviously we've already talked about some of these things, but
Okay. Well, I specialize in results. So that is one of my best qualities as a realtor. Whether my clients are looking to buy, sell, or rent, I've successfully been able to get my clients into a property.
yeah.
So
Does that, I think about speed when you say that, you know, kind of like results, you go for the results right away, kind of
Right.
like you don't play around with it. Is that kind of how it feels to work with you? Let's say I'm a buyer. Are you, how would I see you, or how would I work with you?
okay, so of course, when a client reaches out to you, you want to make sure you know exactly what they're looking for. So that's where I come in with specializing results. So if they're specific in what they need, I make sure I find that. So if they're looking to be zoned in a certain area because of school, for their children, or close to work, or whatever it may be, those are things that I specialize in and make sure they get what they're looking for.
Yeah. And how important do you think speed is? For example, when looking at houses or making offers, is it something that's really makes a difference?
Oh, I definitely do think so. I think if you wait a day, the house may not be available tomorrow. So it's very important that you act fast. When they're ready, you should be ready, of course. If you have the flexibility. I think it's very important. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's part of what being a realtor, I think, is about, right? Knowing, getting to know your client, right?
Right.
And when you're at the property, that it's for them.
Yeah.
Because they kind of wishy-washy.
Right.
Maybe they want to see another property or
Right.
something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job to kind of like, shake them a little and say, this is the one you want.
Yeah, this is the one, right? You don't, when they find something that they like, you don't want to keep showing them 20 more houses when, they're set on this one, or, this is what they've been looking for.
Yeah, sometimes it's but they want to see 20
Right.
more houses. You gotta tell
Right.
them, listen, this is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. And, of course they have to feel it and they have to be in love with it, of course. But, when it's the one and they know when it's the one for them. So.
Do you think that there's a learning process for the client? Like they might take too long, and then a home goes under contract and they miss out.
Right.
Have you felt that with some clients?
So, with contracts, they say time is of the essence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important that they understand if you need 2 or 3 more days to think about it, the property may not be available in 2 or 3 more days. Acting fast, having all your documents ready, whether you're renting, something as simple as a rental application can take days. People put it off. Even with mine getting pre-approved, things of that nature, I think timing is very important in real estate. That can make or break a deal.
Okay, what has been your favorite selling client experience? I don't know if you have, a specific one in mind.
So all actually, as we know in real estate, no two transactions are the same.
Yeah.
So, I learned something new, even with all of the experience that I have. As realtors, we don't know everything. And sometimes we get a curveball in a transaction, so it's been a learning experience for every transaction that I've been through.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Because, if you have an easy deal, that might be your favorite. But then the hard ones are the ones that you actually worked hard to communicate with the mortgage person or title or back and forth. Maybe the seller said something. Do you think most deals are difficult like that, or have you had more easy deals?
So I've had easy deals and I've had nightmare deals. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like a short sale that I had took about 3 months to close. It was a nightmare, but we got through it. Banks were cooperative, then at one point were very quiet, so it caused a lot of stress for the buyers. But as realtors, we're here to reassure our clients to go above and beyond for our clients. That's what's very important. So
yeah. What have you seen as the main issue when you have a difficulty in a transaction? Is it the mortgage side? Is it the association that might hold you back, or is it maybe the other party, like the seller says something? I don't know if you. I don't know what you think about that. What's the most difficult?
Well, I just think in real estate in general, communication is very important. So when one side isn't communicating, we don't know what's going on. So we can't bring the deal together if, we're not hearing from either the title company, the other real estate agent, seller is not cooperating at this point, or, the bank is not cooperating, or the lender is on vacation, and fails to let us know, or, temporarily assign someone while they're on vacation. So I think communication is very important to keep the deal together.
It's important. It's so important that you actually know that, because a realtor that's not prepared, they might not know all the components of the deal. If somebody's not responding, they don't know to reach out to them or something like that, right?
Exactly.
So that lets me know that the
Yes.
process. If something is wrong, you can target it and go after it. What's your favorite part of working in real estate?
I love the flexibility, honestly, and I think a lot of realtors love that too. Being able to make a difference in other people's lives, of course. Some people think it's so far-fetched to become a homeowner. They don't know the steps, they don't know what's necessary, they don't know what they have to do. So being able to provide resources for clients, educate them on things that they need, that makes a significant difference for me. So that's something that I enjoy also doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to see different properties all the time. You're in different areas. Do you work a specific area, by the way?
So I primarily focus in Broward County, but I've worked with a few transactions in Miami, but most of my buyers and sellers are located in Broward County.
Okay, and it's interesting that all realtors pretty much have the same tools, right, to work with. So it's not the tools, right?
It's how you
It's how you use them, right?
Right, exactly, exactly.
What questions do you ask clients to make sure their needs are met? Let's say I'm a buyer. What's important to ask a buyer?
So one of the first things you want to know is, are you working with another realtor? A lot of times buyers, they have 2 or 3 realtors, and they pick and choose who they want to use, or if this person's not available, I'll use another realtor, and whoever can show them the house, that's the realtor they're going to go with. So I think it's very important that you make sure that you're the only agent or you're the only realtor working with that person to avoid issues. Another thing you want to know is, have you been pre-approved? So that's another thing. Some new realtors tend to, of course, with not having the experience, of course, because they get so excited, they'll start showing properties without a pre-approval. And I think, they find a property, you're looking at a $400,000 property. In reality, you're only approved for $300,000. So I think it's very important that we ask our clients, have you been pre-approved? Another thing.
And before you go to the next, I wanted to touch on the first point you made, which was clients working with different realtors.
Yes.
Do you think that happens? Why do you think that happens? Because there's they just don't know, or they think that maybe another realtor will give them show them different homes or something like that?
Yeah, I think for a lot of reasons, they try to just fill other realtors out. Whoever's available, that's who they'll use. Sometimes there's no loyalty, and they may not understand the dynamics of, what's the big deal if I work with 2 or 3 realtors as long as I find what I'm looking for. So being able to ask that question and let them know how important it is, that'll save you time as a realtor. And, so I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that they know, if they're watching this or hearing this, is that you can provide all that the other realtors can provide as well, right? Just one realtor can do the whole thing.
Exactly.
And if they go with another one and put in an offer, then the others, they're cut out of the picture.
Right, pretty much. So
And the pre-approval. you want to make sure as a buyer that you're pre-approved to buy the house. Of course, you nip it at the bud, pretty much.
Pretty much. So that's the first thing you want to make sure you have as a realtor, that your client has already been pre-approved prior to showing any properties to the clients. You know, and again, to save yourself time and to save them time.
Yeah, to save them time.
Yeah. So, something.
And the pre-approval pretty much tells you what you can go up to, right? Or what the bank will
allow you to borrow, or what your buying power is. So.
And does that cost anything?
So to obtain a pre-approval, it costs you nothing.
Okay. So, and who would they go to, or how would they?
Okay, so some people, they have their local local credit unions, banks, or as a realtor, I have lenders or preferred lenders that I may work with. So, you know, I have the resources
so
as
you
well.
can
Recommend.
suggest.
Yeah, make suggestions.
Yeah, make suggestions. And then, does it really make a big difference who you go with?
It may make a difference. I'll say I won't say that it will, and I won't say that it won't, but it can make a difference. I'll just say that.
Maybe the pre-approval won't differ too much, right?
But the person, right, because you want to make sure the pre-approval. I mean, if you're working with someone who knows what they're doing, more than likely you get pre-approved for about the same amount with whoever you go to. But you want to make sure you get someone who is almost always available. Who is great with communicating, getting back to you in a timely manner, especially in times like this, you know. So I think that can make a significant difference. Not just necessarily the lender, but the person that you're working with on the transaction, the loan originator, you know. I think that makes a significant difference.
Yeah. So the people are really important. All the people in the transaction are
all
so
the people
important.
are very important.
You gotta have the
equally
good team.
Important. Exactly. Equally important. Everyone is equally important.
And the team is kind of dispersed, right? I mean, not necessarily in one place working together. You know, some lenders, you know, so you have a team already set up.
Right. A good realtor always has a good team already in place.
I mean, you have experience, you have the team.
Yes.
Right. You know what you're doing. You're fast.
Yes.
I think those are, you know, your top three qualities, and you're professional. Let's add a fourth.
Yes.
I think that because every time I see you, it's professional. You know, Instagram or when you come to the office.
Another question, though, I would say that I would want to ask potential clients is a buying time frame. You know, some people, they reach out, but they may not be ready for another year. Some people are looking to buy in 3 months or less than 3 months. Some may need 6 months. So I think buying time frame is very important. You know, that's something that's very important to ask your clients in real estate, you know, when they are looking to buy or even sell, right? So some people, they're okay with their home being on the market for up to 6 months. Some people want it to sell fast, so they'll hire an agent and they want their home sold in 60 days or less. Otherwise, they're going to go with another agent. So I think time frame is very important.
Okay. So that's good. I mean, that's another quality. That's 5 then, because you adapt.
Right.
You adapt to the client, right?
Yes.
I can see some realtors jumping in and trying to do it a specific way or selling it quickly.
Right.
And maybe that's not the right thing, right? Maybe the client needs time, or the buyer needs to improve their credit or save more money.
Right. So I've seen properties sit on the market for about 3 or 4 months. And not because there's no interest in the property, it's because seller wants a certain amount. So until they get that, they're okay with the property being on the market for that long. Whereas some people tend to see, 100 days, maybe there's a lack of interest, when in reality, the listing agent knows what the seller's looking for. So the days on the market, I mean, that doesn't really affect, you know, that person in general. So, you know, I think, again, like you said, adapting to sellers' needs or buyers' needs and making sure those are met, that's very important, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So days on market doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the home is not good or something like that. It might mean that just the buyer wants a higher price and you haven't been able to sell it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've seen it before, you know, listing agent is like, you know, it's not because of a lack of interest. Seller is looking for a specific amount, and until he gets that, you know, the house will stay on the market.
So final thing, and most important, of course, now that we know you, we know your qualities, and you know, it would be great to work with you. I know. If I wanted to work with you, if I'm a buyer, I'm looking to buy or sell my home in Broward County, how can I contact you?
Okay, so you can contact me directly on my cell phone, 954-780-7041. You can find me on Instagram at Erla the Realtor, Facebook, same thing. LinkedIn, realtor.com. You can check my reviews, 5-star rating. So yeah, those are the best ways to get in contact with me.
You're everywhere then. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
Just send you an email. What's the easiest? Can we text you?
Text, call, you can send me an email, my first name, ERLA, at utgre.com.
Perfect. Well, Erla, thank you for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Look forward to seeing you closing more deals,
Awesome.
and as you
Thank
have
so
been.
much.
So
Thank you. All right.
let me check if it's recording. It should be.
I hope so.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
That was